As Qui-Gon Jinn once said, a monad is just a monoid and a category of its endofunctors. What's the problem? On some real seriousness, though, um, that's definitely what he said. That's definitely what he said. But I'm going to be talking about my experiences with mathematics, both social, theoretical, right, like the actual math itself, and what I think about the future of math. I mean, obviously, in the title of the video, it's going to say, like, what's the future of math hold? But I think that it's important to kind of talk about my perspective, right? I mean, this is the thing. If you ever do mathematics, or if you ever want an opinion on anything, right, like on anything related to STEM, to be honest, it's worth understanding the person's point of view. It's not just enough to ask somebody, what's your opinion? It's even more important to understand where does this opinion come from, right? Like some person might be like, yo, dude, like study math, like, go study math. But guess what? This person's been doing math their entire life. Of course, they're going to tell you to go study math. Or they're going to say like, oh, yo, it's just so easy to get into, I don't know, Princeton and Harvard. Just like apply, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just apply. Well, why not? But it's like, dude, you've been getting, good grades, or you've been doing mathematics, again, your entire life. Your parents pay for all this stuff. So it's like, part of it you want to say is cope, being like, yo, it's just cope, bro. Like, whatever. Like, this person might have lived a different experience, but you guys still study math the same. Unfortunately, it's not cope, right? If everything could be just done through working hard, then like everyone would be like successful and millionaires. But the truth is that it's important to understand the perspective before going in. It's paramount to making an educated and informed decision to not only know the opinion of somebody but also know where the opinion comes from. So with that being said, I'm going to give you my background in mathematics, and then let you know about what I think is going to happen in the future of math. Because I've seen these videos pop up, they're like, oh, what does the future of math hold given this new AI stuff coming up? So we'll get right into it. So first things first, I am, going into third year for mathematics. And in all honesty, I actually never even did math in my undergrad. Well, I actually had an undergrad before this undergrad, which was completely different. As you could see by the name of my account, it was in chemistry, but of course, it didn't stay long enough for me to actually make any YouTube videos in chemistry. So yeah, right. So now I'm in mathematics, and in all honesty, I just started. It was like 2 years ago, maybe, when I first came into math, that I was actually doing theoretical math. All right, so before that, I was just doing some regular chemistry related math, right? Like you got physical chemistry a little bit, got thermodynamics. And before that, I mean, I was pretty much in high school just averaging straight 60s in math, right? So I haven't come from a point of view of somebody who's done a math IMO, or, studying Putnam or anything like that. Yeah, I've done so many math competitions, bro. Nah, I'm not that guy. For me, I was just chilling, smoking hella weed, just absolute degen to the max, and it's fine. I think that I mean, that's my experience. I know a lot of people, they live that experience in university than in high school. It really does depend, right? It varies, right? So some people have good high school experiences, they don't in university, and sometimes it's the inverse. So that's kind of my background going in to mathematics, and right now it's honestly amazing, right? I mean, the math is extremely interesting. I really like real analysis so far. I mean, I think that's my favorite, probably, to do both questions in and theory in. It's really good. It's really good. As from my previous YouTube video, I mean, I'm making my own syllabus to like learn information and stuff from, right? So like I would look at the syllabus online and then pick out what assignments I'm going to be working on, like how I'm going to be doing certain chapters and lessons per day. So it's like I'm giving myself a nice, really good schedule for all this stuff learning in the summer. And it's really, really good. So I think theory wise, it's been pretty sick, right? I mean, I'm more of an analyst though. I'm saying this stuff from the point of like I like analysis, like I really like real analysis and stuff like that. But I've also studied algebra in my own time, and I also enjoy that too. I think groups and fields are really interesting, but I'm not a big fan of rings personally. Um, but besides those two things, right? Besides just analysis and algebra, it's been really, really interesting. All the fields are interesting. I don't think it's fair to actually just say one field is interesting. I think all of them are interesting. And that kind of just wraps it up for theoretical aspect. I mean, I can get more into detail with the theory of math and stuff like that, and maybe make some YouTube videos on books that I really like, right? That I have. Let me see if I can actually find the book right over here. Um, Carauthor's Real Analysis, right? A really, really excellent book. Very thick book though. But it covers pretty much everything related to real analysis and a little bit of functional analysis in the later half of this book. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting book, and I can do a lot of book reviews. I have a couple of books in my library, so maybe I can go through that and make another YouTube video on that. But as for the social aspect of math, I mean, it's been okay. I think it's okay. I don't really have much to say about it. I think I met some really cool people. I've met some close friends actually through mathematics. I will say this though, it's a little bit barren. Let's just say that. I don't think there's a lot of people that like I don't want to say like studying math, because I think everyone likes studying math in this degree. I think most people like studying math in this degree. But man, while I tell you that it's feeling very weird now. I don't know what happened. I think it's a huge influx of people started coming in with the idea they want to do quant, something like that. Or they like heard that like if you do math, like you're gonna make a lot of money. Like, dude, sorry, you're not gonna be making a lot of money, doing math research. And becoming a quant is just insanely difficult. You're gonna be competing with people studying statistics and computer science. So you know what I mean. Like, it's just interesting to see like what type of people are coming into math. But overall, like the people are some people are good. I think most of them, I don't want to talk shit about my own degree, but I don't think most of them really like people. I think a lot of them are friends within their own friend groups, kind of, you know what I mean? Or they just don't like talking to anybody. So I've had a little bit of a hard time making friends in this degree. I don't think I have a hard time making friends in general, but man, will I say that like talking to people in math, it's like talking to people that are like just like it's like being sub three talking like talking to high tier Beckies. Oh man, I don't even want to say. I think it's like really lame to even use the black pill terminology stuff, but I just think it's like funny for me to give like a nice analogous situation, right? Because these dudes really be looking at you like that. Like you'll be talking to them, and you'll be like, "Yo, like I'm really interested." Like, hey, and they just look at you like this. They just be like, why are you talking to me, bro? Like, what are you doing? Ugh. Like, why are you speaking to me? Do you even know functional analysis, bro? I was doing functional analysis in my first year. I was literally fucking top 5 IMO, bro. You're absolute dog water. And yeah, I mean, it's like I wouldn't say that this is like my overall experience the entire time, but like, it's like a decent percentage of the time it was like kind of the vibes that they were giving off, right? It would be like stuff that would be slick with it, right? They'll just be like, yeah, like I mean, I just studied that like honestly like a couple months ago or like 2 3 years ago, but like yeah, and I'll be like, dude, like I don't care, bro. You know what I mean? Like this is really odd to me that like it's small stuff like that, but yeah, it is difficult socially in math. I definitely think that's the case. I think it attracts a lot more autistic people that people want to admit. Um, I don't think I have like autism, at least that I know of, right? I don't think I have autism, but you can definitely tell, right? You can definitely tell that there's a huge social disconnect, and this is not anything to kind of like braid them in particular, right? I'm not saying that because they're like that it's a bad thing, but I mean when it comes to making friends, like you really will have a huge hard time making friends in math, right? Like it's just difficult to do. You know what I mean? Whether that be because some decent proportion of these guys are actually autistic, or because like they're trying to become quants and they just think that like everyone else is comp to them or whatever. But I think socially math is pretty abysmal. I was actually lying earlier when I said it was okay. It's actually not okay. It's actually not okay. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, socially and theoretically, overall, it's pretty okay. I think it's honestly not too bad of an experience, in my opinion. What do I think about the future of math, though? Is kind of like the main topic, right? I think the future of math is pretty screwed. If you're someone that cares about being like the person to make a theorem or make a solution to a problem. Like if you're someone who really values your own ego and kind of values your own self-perception, yes, you will definitely not like what's going to be happening in the next 10 to 15 years, right? I think it's absolutely worth studying math. If you don't study math, that's fine. But if you're asking me, someone who is studying math, whether it's worth to study math right now or not, I think it's absolutely worth it. I think you really want to get a foundational understanding for stuff before going into it, into like some sort of application thing, right? I mean, that's at least my opinion. I mean, this is like basically saying like, okay, learn the physics before you learn the engineering, or learning the math before you learn the physics. That's my way of doing it though. Like I like the theory beforehand going and then using the theory and application afterwards. But I think it's worth it. I think it's extremely interesting. I think math in general is extremely interesting. I think it's absolutely worth encountering problems. It makes you smarter. It makes you think better. Overall, it just adds more patience. You kind of like if you guys play like NBA 2K, like you have like a couple of these VC points you can add to certain stuff, right? So it's like, you're in math, you're gonna be adding some VC to like your logical reasoning, to patience. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta upgrade those attributes. That's how you're gonna upgrade those attributes. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you have to really do life in general, right? Like you gotta kind of upgrade the attributes, go to the gym, keep yourself sociable. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself mentally healthy, right? Avoid smoking weed, avoid drinking and stuff like that as much as possible. As much as that sounds kind of dorky, oh man, like this guy's a dork, this guy doesn't drink or smoke or whatever. But it's like you're gonna really, really value this if you pursue stuff that uses your brain. If you're gonna pursue stuff that uses your body and stuff like that, or like any sort of like endurance type of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely worth studying math for that reason. For other reasons, I mean, listen, if you care about like solving problems and you being the person solving the problems, it's not going to be worth it, because simply put, like machine learning and AI is going to get to a point where it can then work on these types of problems at an extremely high level. Like we're talking about not just doing Erdos problems and graph theory, like it'll be at the level of algebraic geometry research. It'll be at the level of like functional analysis research, and like, here's some cool, crazy thing. Like this is going to be groundbreaking right now. It can do this and it can give you this proof, generate this proof for you. And I think it's going to be within a life, at least our lifetime, right? If you're somebody who's like 20 years old, I have to like crack my back here for a second and my neck. But if you're 20 years old, or 25, or even 30, or even 35, in the next 20 to 30 years, there's probably going to be a sufficient amount of computing power, and some dude's going to develop some shit that can now like work on these types of stuff. I mean, lean is an example of like something that's being made for mathematics that's insanely useful, which is proof verification, right? Like suppose I want to check to see if a proof is correct, I could just throw it into lean, gives me a verification of, okay, this is absolutely logically valid, and then it has no issues. Boom, there you go. And all that research that would have taken like months for you to go find some sort of weird edge case and prove everything, like the proof looks extremely convoluted, you could have just done all this and circumvent all that and just done, put it into lean, it gives you the answer, boom, there you go, done. So yeah, I mean, and in that case, the question then becomes like, why are you studying math then? Like, you know what I mean? If you're in it for math, if you're in it for the sake of mathematics, then this is an absolute worthwhile degree, and this is an absolute worthwhile research to pursue. But if you're in it because you just want to kind of prove a point, Like, I can solve stuff. I'm going to become the next Euler. I'm going to be the next Terence Tao. I mean, it's just not going to be a good enough motivator. Like Andrew Wiles and like Grigori Perlman, like these people are, besides being extremely hyper autistic, they also they're also, very selfless people. Like, they don't mind spending 10 years, 15 years studying one problem, working on one problem. Many people think that, oh, like, it's just like because they want the clout that comes with getting that like crazy cool problem, like that goated problem. And I mean, that might be true, might be a little bit true. But after 10, 15 years working one problem, there has to come a point where like that doesn't become your only motivator in life, right? So obviously, if you're somebody of that type of cloth, cut from that type of cloth, where it's like you're not even LeBron James, I would say, but like you're like Michael Jordan or you're Kobe Bryant, and you're like, yo, I took that personally, bro. I'm gonna become the greatest mathematician ever now. It's just not gonna fly if this is gonna be your entire life, right? This is gonna be like a lifelong goal for you. So for people that are of that type of cloth, that just really only care about solving like hard problems and then being the people that the name is being said, like, yeah, bro, this guy solved a crazy hard problem, he's the next Terence Tao. If that's the reason why, obviously this is not going to be something you want to pursue, because from the looks of it, it seems that it's going to be hard problems are going to become easier to access. Not saying that it's going to be easily accessible, but easier to access for people doing research. And you don't need to be someone who spends 8 years studying algebraic geometry to do some small subcase of some other thing for research, right? Like, research can now be more important, right? Publish and perish. Hopefully, I'm praying publish and perish starts to kind of go away a little bit. And the main reason is because geniuses are extremely intelligent people. I want to say, like, in quotation marks. I mean, I think this is only with respect to mathematics we could really say this, right? With respect to math, I mean, in my opinion, it's everything. But with respect to math, like, people that are extremely crazy at math, from what I've seen, can run through ideas like this. Like, they're just like, okay, this idea doesn't work, move on to the next. This idea doesn't work, move on to the next. And sometimes they get a general intuition about a problem, and then the space of solutions are within this problem space. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, within that aspect, machine learning models and AI are going to help out with just eliminating the speed it takes to verify all this stuff. Like, now you don't need to spend like 8 mathematicians and 10 months later for you to come to the same conclusion had you just done the machine learning model, right? So yeah, I mean, is it still worth it? Yes, it's absolutely still worth it. Is it worth it if the only reason you want to get into math is because you want to like become something? Like, I don't think that's absolutely worth that at all. Like, I don't think that's worth it at all. So if you're really thinking that, I don't think you should think that. But if you're willing to want to learn, if you're willing to want to pursue and enjoy math for what it is, absolutely. If you want to apply this stuff to engineering, you want to mix some fields together, right? You want to like study chemistry and math. You want to do some really weird like symmetry of like molecule stuff. That's interesting too. If you want to do anything else that's honestly 100% valid, you should absolutely study math, and it's absolutely worth it to study math. But if your motivation is just going to be strictly because you want to just, be the greatest of all time, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? That's where I'm kind of just going to be like, I think you should probably promptly avoid math if this is the case. And I think in general, right, you should just avoid anything else if this is the case. Because, there's always a bigger fish, A. And B, it's going to come a point in time where it's going to be much more accessible to everyone else. So it's just going to not make sense to really hold on to that kind of identity. But yeah, I mean, this is a really bad made video in my opinion. I think I don't really have like a, what's it called? I don't really have like a script or anything like that. So I'm kind of just like saying everything off the dome. And yeah, it's definitely going to be worth to study math. I mean, I think so. And also my phone's popping off, all right? I'm like super popular. No, I'm just trolling. Anyway, take it easy, y'all. I hope all of you have a fun time learning math. I hope all of you have a fun time learning computer science and chemistry, or English or philosophy. I hope all of you have fun, and I will see you guys in the next one.